Section 10. Create and format tables. In this section, we are looking at creating and formatting tables in Excel. We'll cover the following questions. 25B. Create tables from cell ranges. 25C. Apply table styles. 25D. Modify tables. 25E. Configure table style options. 25F. Convert tables to cell ranges from the study guide which is provided to you with this course.
Now I'm coming to 25B. This question tells us to create a table. He says equipment cost 1. Using locations and data, you have to create a table with headers consisting of the data in row 2. Okay. So equipment cost 1 खोलते हैं. Let's see how he wants us to create the table. This is my data. As you all can see. When I am creating a table, will I start from here or will I start from here? The top portion of my table, it is a merged cell. It means what I typed on the top is the title of my table. My column headers are item, Clearwater, Dale, Downtown and Dunedin. So when I want to convert my data into a table, I am going to select like this. And then I will go to insert and I will say table and I will say okay. अब देखो मेरा टेबल परफेक्ट बन गया. इसको ये तो हमारा टाइटल है, कर सकते हैं, इसको बोल्ड कर सकते हैं और इसका फॉन्ट साइज थोड़ा बड़ा कर सकते हैं सो दैट इट लुक्स नाइस. अब देखो अच्छा लग रहा है. सो द टेबल विल ऑलवेज स्टार्ट विद द हेडिंग्स ऑफ द कॉलम्स. So whenever you create a table, always remember if there is a cell which is a merged cell, it means that it is a title and not a part of the table. The table data will be sorted based on the row which has got all the headings. उधर मेरा sorting होगा. So we come to question number C now. I told you 25A, I showed you 25B. अब 25C पे चलते हैं. अभी क्या बोल रहा है करने के लिए. He says equipment cost 1. Apply the blue table style medium 20 style to the table on the current worksheet. So to create the table, we went to insert and we did table. After creating the table, I realized कि यार ये तो बड़ा बोरिंग होता है. मैं जब भी टेबल क्रिएट करता हूं, एक्सेल मुझे ब्लू कलर का ही फॉर्मेट देता है. You must have realized that it always comes in this color only. Whenever you will create a table, यही ब्लू कलर में आएगा. It is a default format which Excel has for creating tables. But you say ये interesting नहीं है. I want to make it a little more interesting, so I will go to format as table, where I'm allowed to put my own colors, my own style, the way I want the table to look. So the next question was that only, that you need to go to format table and you have to choose the different names. Every style has got a name. देखो, blue table style medium 6, blue table style medium 13, blue table style medium 20. ऐसे करके every table style has got a name. Just imagine. क्या डिजाइन किया ये लोग ने, एक एक को नाम दे दिया. So I can choose any of these, whichever I want, and I can make my table look more attractive like this. So the table starts looking more interesting and attractive. Now I'm coming to question D. Equipment cost 1. In the table on the current worksheet, add a column with the name item type in between item and clear water. Then add a row with an item name of dumbbells in between climbers and treadmills. So it's very simple. He wants us to insert one column known as item type, and he wants us to insert one row known as dumbbells. दो बात बोला है करने के लिए. So when I see the table and I say okay, हमको तो आता है इंसर्ट कैसे करते हैं. हम बस इधर आइटम के बाद आइटम टाइप करना है. मैं इधर राइट क्लिक करता हूं, इंसर्ट में जाता हूं और ऑटोमेटिकली मेरे को ऑप्शन आ जाता है टेबल कॉलम्स टू द लेफ्ट. The column appears fully formatted in the same color combination as the table has. And instead of column 1, I just have to name it item type. That was one thing he told me to do, which I've done here. And then he says between climbers and treadmills, I have to insert dumbbells. So I will come to treadmills, I will right click and I will go to insert. And he gives me the option of table rows above. When you are working in a table, there are only two options given to you in insert. You have to realize that also. When I'm working in a table and when I right click, I get only two options for insert. Whereas if I was working on data, कहीं और मैं insert अगर दबाता हूं तो मुझे इतने सारे options आ जाते हैं. Cells right, cells down, entire row, entire column. So the insert method in a table is different than when you are working in Excel outside. Here there is no option of insert cells. है ही नहीं, देखो फॉर्मेट सेल्स है बट इंसर्ट सेल नहीं है, इंसर्ट रो या कॉलम है. बट इधर जब मैं क्लिक करता हूं आई गेट द ऑप्शन टू आल्सो इंसर्ट अ सेल. देखो शिफ्ट सेल्स अप, शिफ्ट सेल्स डाउन, है ना, ये इंसर्ट सेल्स का ऑप्शन है. दैट्स द मेन डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ टेबल एंड अ नॉर्मल डेटा. नॉर्मल डेटा ऐसा टाइप किया हुआ होगा, उसमें ऑप्शन ये आएगा, इधर इंसर्ट में सिर्फ दो ऑप्शन आएंगे. So you have to be very careful where you want to insert. He said item type, clear water option. So obviously I'll have to go to clear water and right click because I have only columns to the left, columns to the right है ही नहीं. अगर मैं यहाँ पे क्लिक करके राइट क्लिक करता और मैं बोलता कि भाई इंसर्ट करो, मेरे को राइट का ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, लेफ्ट का ऑप्शन, गलत हो जाता ना. देखो यहाँ आता कॉलम. So you have to be very careful when you are inserting because there is only one option of inserting in tables. Okay? This was our question on inserting rows and columns in a table. Question number D. Now we come to question number E. Now in a table, we have ready-made designs, which I showed you all just now. जो कलर चाहिए था मैं यहां से जाके वो कलर एक्टिवेट करता हूं. Leaving aside this ready-made design, the table also gives us an option known as design. In this design, the table tells us right now how my table has been designed. What are the elements in my table? So he says, you have got a header row. Okay. I've got a header row, item type, clear water, correct? You've got banded rows. Achha, banded rows. Matlab I've got different colored rows. Okay. I've got a filter button. Yes. This small little arrow which has come is a filter button. I've got all the 3 elements which he has kept on. At any given point of time, I can remove the banded rows. If I don't want those lines, if it irritates me, I can get rid of them. My format of the table has not changed. मुझे वही blue color है, वही black color का combination है. The only difference being that I was able to remove or add these banded rows. Next thing, I've got option of banded columns कि हाँ भाई आपको अगर banded columns चाहिए तो on कर दो. आपके columns banded होंगे. ऐसे अलग अलग कलर्स में मेरे कॉलम्स आ जाएंगे. ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. Leaving aside banded rows and banded columns, there is a very interesting aspect known as first column and last column. Over here, if I ask you, what is the data which is dynamic and which is the data which is static? ये जो मेरा डेटा है, इतना मेरा डेटा है, इसमें डायनामिक क्या होगा, स्टैटिक क्या होगा? तो ये जो मेरा है वो तो सेम ही रहेगा बिकॉज मेरे आइटम्स चेंज नहीं हो रहे, बट मेरे नंबर जो हैं वो चेंज होते जाएंगे डिपेंडिंग अपॉन which month what I'm doing. These are my basic products. I'm not changing them as of now. Right now, there is no distinguish between my static and dynamic data. So table में वो क्या करता है कि आपको एक first column का option देता है. When I switch it on, उसने देखो distinguish कर दिया. Now I know कि भाई these items are also my headings. These are not going to change, but these values will keep changing. It converted my first column into headings, just like item type Clearwater. Distinguished the two by choosing the color. So I come here and I say, okay, I want to insert a new column. तो ये तो बड़ा problematic हो गया. अगर मैं insert column में जा रहा हूं तो मुझे right और left दोनों दे रहा है वो. अरे ये क्या हो गया? When I go here and right click and go to insert, अरे यहां तो मुझे एक ही दे रहा है, table columns to the left. पर जब मैं लास्ट में जा रहा हूं तो मुझे दोनों ऑप्शन दे रहा है वो, लेफ्ट एंड राइट. कमाल हो गया. When you use the insert button at the last column of your table, it allows you to insert a column either on the left or on the right, because you may need a column on the right as a total column and you may need a column on the left in case you have got one more location to be added to your data. That is why it gives me two options when I come to the last column of my table. But when I'm inside my table and that time when I am doing it, उस टाइम पे मुझे वो ऑप्शंस एक ही देता है. Assuming that you will just be adding one more column to the left. So I say I want to add one more column to the right. And I want the last column to be my total column. Okay. Again, my total column is not dynamic data. I can't change it. My total column is going to be dependent on these numbers which are in the center. So I will also tell him that last column is a different column. So my table starts looking like this. This is how the format of my table can be created, where everything is distinguished by the color and by the format. Let's come to question number F. Now F tells me, he suddenly realizes and he says, अरे ये जो डेटा है जो हमने टाइप किया है उसको मुझे वापस कन्वर्ट करना है into a normal range of data. Okay, so I come back to my table and I say, okay, अभी ये टेबल बना दिया मैंने, था मेहनत करके, अब इसको नॉर्मल रेंज ऑफ डेटा करना है उसको, ठीक है. Under my design option only, I just place my cursor anywhere on the table. Under my design option only, there is a button known as convert to range. I click convert to range. He will say, do you want to convert the table to a normal range? I say yes, please make it normal like before. ये मेरा नॉर्मल रेंज हो गया. अब बोलोगे अरे सर ये तो कुछ फर्क ही नहीं हुआ, ये तो वैसे ही लग रहा है. हाँ वैसे ही लगेगा. The format won't disappear, but the features have gone. अब मेरा डिजाइन है ही नहीं. देखो डिजाइन चला गया. See, it's gone. Right? So a lot of times people convert their data into tables and make it back into range after they have created a format like I created. तो ठीक है, अभी हम वापस टेबल में आ जाते हैं, हमारे नॉर्मल रेंज में आ जाते हैं, बिकॉज जब मैं यहाँ पे इंसर्ट करता हूं तो मुझे अभी भी ऑप्शंस मिलते हैं, अगर रो करना है कि कॉलम करना है कि सेल करना है, जबकि टेबल में नहीं दे रहा था. Sometimes you may need to use those features which you will not be able to do if you continue using it as a table. That's why a lot of times people convert it back to normal range with the colors of the table. It's beautiful लगता है एकदम, and person continues doing his work. So then I decide कि मुझे वापस इसको टेबल बनाना है. It will take me a minute. इसको सिलेक्ट कर दूंगा और सिलेक्ट करने के बाद मैं फॉर्मेट एज टेबल में जा सकता हूं और वही फॉर्मेट को एक बार क्लिक कर दूंगा. बन गया टेबल. देखो डिजाइन ऑप्शन आ गया. At any given point of time, I can convert this to a table or I can convert it back into normal data. बड़ा सिंपल है और इजी है करने के लिए. Right? So this was our question F.